The wrestling world has been really dumb the last couple of weeks. So let's try and make sense out of this nonsense. It's time for the Headlock Headlines. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Welcome to episode 10 of the Headlock Headlines here on Tooney Wrestling. I'm sorry it's been so long. I went away on vacation, and I've been trying to... Vacation?! We're being joined by our good friend Trip from the WWE. Trip, welcome back. I have never been more disgusted with you, jobber monster. Well, that makes us even for Wrestlemania 19 then. I don't know why I waste my time on this show, taking vacations. If you're not interested in the grind, then you're not worthy of working with me. Yes, we all heard your thoughts on this regarding Will Ospreay choosing a lighter schedule and more money to sign with AEW over WWE. What? You know, your whole comment about the grind before WrestleMania. Everyone knew that was a shot at Will Ospreay. Who the hell is Will Ospreay? He's a... You know what? I'm not even going to entertain this. You were absolutely talking about Will Ospreay. What else could you have possibly been talking about? I could not have been more clear. If you're not interested in the grind, that catchphrase and hip gyration that Sable used to do in the late 90s, then I don't want to work with you. What? Here, hold on, I'll send it to you. Check it out. This is for the women who want to be me and the men who come to see me. Are you boys ready for the grind? Oh, God. Oh, you could hear a shriveled up uterus bouncing around in there. A simpler time. This was what we thought sex appeal was in the late 90s. A true classic never goes out of style, jobber monster. Well, back then I guess you did what you had to do against such stiff competition. Right. It's a different world now. We're competing against ourselves. Yeah, I heard you say that around WrestleMania. One of many statements that you made that week that raised a lot of eyebrows. I mean, it's the truth. You don't think there's any other company out there that you might be considered in competition with? Well, yes, of course there is the elephant in the room, our closest competitor. Oh boy. I figured this was gonna draw him out.
Tooney Khan, wrestling savior, and he's the bomb. Yeah, he's TK. Tooney Khan is giving wrestlers hugs, and he might be on drugs. Yeah, he's TK.
Greetings, fans of real pro wrestling. I have arrived in the nick of time.
Hello, Tooney Khan. What brings you out here today?
Well, I just wanted to make sure I was front and center to see this bald asshole finally admit who his rival, his arch nemesis, his chief competitor really is.
Well, I mean, it's a rising promotion, so it's not really fair to compare them with us since they're still so new, but we definitely have our eye on them.
Yes.
Oh yes, we take the threat of big little brawlers seriously.
What?
Yeah, I mean, they're a proven ratings draw, and they have a streaming deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. That really warrants some attention on our part. They're the only other wrestling company in the world on a major streaming platform. Yeah, he's not wrong, Tooney.
Yes, he is!
Really? What other wrestling company out there is on a major streaming platform?
Well, there's Honor Club.
Nope, try again.
Honor Club is a huge streaming platform. It's so powerful that we've chosen it as the exclusive home of Ring of Honor TV.
Yes, that's why you use the Honor Club. Not because no TV network would even entertain the idea of putting Ring of Honor on the air.
Streaming is lame. It's a terrible platform. No one even watches wrestling shows on streaming.
No one watches your wrestling shows on streaming. Honor Club is more deserted than your average ROH TV taping.
Hey, we film my ROH after my Dynamite, and I personally make sure that the crowd sticks around. I go out there every week on the mic demonstrating my incredible and not at all weird or cringy mic skills to make sure that the fans know that more wrestling is coming and that I freaking love the movie Time Cop.
What?
Yeah, Time Cop. It's a great movie. I love Time Cop. Everyone should watch Time Cop. If you haven't seen Time Cop, you should really see Time Cop.
This is what you do every week?
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The fact that you ain't broke right now is astounding. Look, guys, we've been away for a few weeks. We need to stop talking about early 90s action films and start focusing on things that matter, like Wrestlemania weekend. Ah, yes, my great triumph.
What an amazing weekend that was for me.
What? How?
I held my Supercard of Honor in Philadelphia that weekend, and it was glorious. And of course, that was where I made the big announcement that I'd be showing my CCTV footage from Wembley, showing my Jungle Boy Jack Perry being assaulted by that meanie butt-faced poop-nosed ruffian CM Punk.
Ugh, you already sang an entire song about this. Do we really need to talk about it again?
Of course we do! This was a huge victory for me and my AEW. Did you know that the ratings for that segment were huge? Bringing us the best ratings we've had in weeks!
Which was still only around 800,000 people.
Ugh, when are you gonna realize that ratings don't matter in modern TV? It's all about what the fans are saying.
And most of the fans are saying that this was a ridiculously stupid and potentially illegal tantrum that you threw because Punk spoke badly about you on Ariel Helwani's show. Most fans are saying that this shows how ineffectual you are as a leader, seeing as how a heated verbal interaction happened literally right in front of you and you did absolutely nothing to stop it. Most fans are saying that this was utterly pointless and had no payoff whatsoever. It just showed the guy who's still employed by your company being choked out like the little pansy-ass nepo baby bitch that he is, while the guy who's currently in the WWE looked strong. Most fans in the arena itself were even chanting for CM Punk.
Yeah, but who cares what the fans are saying? TBS called me to congratulate me on the rating, and as we all know, the ultimate measure of success in television is the ratings.
You just said that the ratings don't matter.
When?
Like a minute ago!
That doesn't make any sense. I just said the ratings were the most important thing, and TBS was thrilled with my ratings.
And then the following week, the ratings plummeted again, down into the 700s, proving the only reason anyone watched this to begin with was because even months after he's been gone, CM Punk is still the biggest draw in your company.
Why are we even talking about that? Ratings don't matter in modern TV.
Holy crap. Is this what failure looks like? Look, let's just move on to some positives here. WrestleMania weekend was really successful, with the events like
Look at me! Look at me! Look at me!
the Hall of Fame and WWE World taking
Woohoo! Over here! I exist! I'm relevant!
place over multiple days. Not to mention the actual event, which
Da 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 da.
shattered just about every record, and in the main event, we got to
Boo! Boo! Boo!
see Cody Rhodes finish his story to become the WWE Champion at last. What the hell is that guy doing? Exactly what he did during WrestleMania weekend, trying to make a lot of nonsense noise to put attention on himself because he's so incredibly insecure that he couldn't handle the fact that WWE was the main focal point of the wrestling world for those days. Hey, let's be fair, WWE wasn't the only game in town during the weekend in Philly.
Oh, finally.
GCW had a few big shows too.
Oh, come on!
We even worked with them, letting them use some of our talent. I see no reason why the wrestling world can't come together here and there. We had TNA contracted guys at the Hall of Fame, and Bubba Ray Dudley, who's in TNA, was even featured on WrestleMania. I just don't see the need for such separation. That's what this new era is all about. I'm opening the frowned-upon window.
Does, that mean you're open to working with AEW?
Nope. It really does feel like a new era in the wrestling business. They're calling it the Paul Levesque era. Who the hell is that? That's you, Trip. Oh.
How arrogant to name an entire era after yourself.
I didn't do it. Other people started saying it.
Yeah, just like my production crew went and surprised me by putting up that thank you Tony Khan banner. Get real.
Well, Tooney, you had a big show this week too with AEW Dynasty.
Where I made history.
You did?
The first black AEW World Champion in Swerve Strickland, the first black manager of an AEW World Champion in Prince Nana, and the first black referee to officiate an AEW Championship match in, that black referee that I hired.
Oh, yes. A bunch of white ladies with septum rings mentioned this to me in all caps on Twitter.
I will pause now for you to praise me.
I will praise you.
Really?
Yeah, really? I'll praise you for capitalizing on a legitimate star in Swerve Strickland and putting the belt on him. He's gotten organically over, and putting him at the top of the card is the right thing to do.
Right, but aren't you going to praise me for the fact that he's black?
No, I'm gonna praise you because he's a good worker and he deserved the championship.
But he's also black!
What's your point?
I am such a good person.
You're a good person because Swerve Strickland is black?
I have a POC world champion for the first time ever!
Tooney, you've had a POC champion for months.
Where?
Samoa Joe!
What?
Tooney, does this look like a white guy to you?
I don't see color.
Well, what about Swerve Strickland?
Black world champion! Woo!
TNA World Champion Moose, who, since you can't see color, Tooney, I will tell you is also black, spoke on this when he said, quote, "It's 2024, people. We don't have to acknowledge it. Let's just normalize it. We're not the first, second, or third. We are world champions."
But first black champion.
Qualified world champion and star.
First black manager of champion.
Excellent manager, great promo, and long-standing veteran of the pro wrestling business who is finally getting his due on a large stage.
First black referee of championship match.
How the hell did you never have a black referee officiate a world title match before now?
Not important.
I don't know, sounds important to me.
How about you, huh? Releasing all those wrestlers this week? How could you? They have families to support.
Tooney, you also just released 10 wrestlers from their contract like 3 weeks ago. Among them, the boys from ROH. Who? Yeah, I can't help you there. I have no idea who they actually are.
That's different.
How?
He released some real top-tier talent, like former world heavyweight champion and legitimate superstar who deserves every match he could ever want, Jinder Mahal.
What? Weren't you just complaining a few weeks ago about Jinder Mahal being given a title shot because of his kayfabe win-loss record?
That doesn't sound familiar.
I don't remember it either, but that's just because I don't care. At all. But you do care, Tooney. You have a whole ranking system.
I sure do. Just another part of my sports-based presentation.
Riddle me this, Tooney. Why is Mercedes Mone, with a win-loss record of 0 wins and 0 losses, having her first match as a TBS title shot?
Oh, well, that's different.
How is it different?
Because it's her.
Yes, I know you have this weird fear of Mercedes Mone, but you're being a hypocrite by throwing your entire ranking system in the trash to make her first match a title shot.
You don't understand. She
Is really mean, yes, I remember.
No! I mean, yes, she's a horrifyingly cantankerous, despicable human being who makes me cry a minimum of 9 times a day. But I mean, she's controlling her stories. She has her own writer, her own creative power, her own earpiece that she wears during promos so that someone can feed her lines.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Why not have her start in a non-title feud and work her way up, building her with a series of wins before she challenges for one of your titles?
Because she doesn't want to do that. I suggested that. Maybe a quick feud with Soraya or Ruby or someone, but she screamed, laid down on the floor, and called my mommy mean names.
Why do you put up with this?
She's a huge star.
Is she, though? Her impact on your ratings has been non-existent. The only directions numbers have moved since her debut have been down. You're paying her a ton of money despite her not being medically cleared to compete. She just comes out there doing a cringy little dance and cuts the same stupid, dryly delivered, unnaturally boring promo over and over again.
She is the face of AEW now.
No, Swerve Strickland is the face of AEW. That's the guy the fans have embraced. He's the one you need to put your energy behind.
I am! He's gonna be a great champion. Until Will Ospreay beats him at Wembley and All In.
Tooney, that's a terrible idea.
Why? Will is so over.
Yes, but so is Swerve. Why would you use him as a transitional champion?
Look, I don't make the rules.
Then who does?
Aw, hi guys.
No, get him out of here. I am in no mood this week.
Aw.
That's the first thing you've done all day that I approve of, jobber monster.
Hey, Swerve will be a great champion for the next 4 months.
Tooney, this is gonna bite you on the ass.
How?
Remember how you made a huge deal about him being your first black world champion?
I am such a good person.
Well, how's it gonna look to the cancel pigs you're pandering to when they realize you just handed the belt to Swerve to hold on to it until you got to this white guy's home country?
Why are you so focused on race, monster? Jesus. What matters is that Swerve Strickland is a strong transitional champion, not that he's the first black transitional champion.
Are you starting to understand why I said we're competing with ourselves?
You shut up! Damn it, you've been so mean the last few weeks with shot after shot after shot fired at my small independent company. We're just a baby startup trying to get by.
Tooney, you just had Toni Storm and Will Ospreay hurl shots at WWE during your stupid press scrum at Dynasty.
Stupid? How dare you? My press scrums are the highlight of my shows.
They are, and that's the problem.
What do you mean?
I mean, every bad thing that has ever befallen your company has happened as a direct result of these ridiculous self-aggrandizing press conferences that you insist on hosting. From Brawl Out to you wearing that hat and sunglasses while being asked about sexual assault allegations, to profanity-laden temper tantrums at WWE, to Toni Storm taking a shot at Cody Rhodes of all people.
But he left me.
And he hasn't trashed you once, you absolute child. Anytime Cody is asked about AEW, he says he's proud of his time there and proud of what he helped to start. He has never taken the bait when people try to get him to spill the beans or rip you to shreds. The most he has ever said was that people were mean to his wife there.
Look, my scrums are essential. It's the fans and the media's opportunity to see and hear from me directly.
Absolutely no one needs to ever see or hear from you, ever. Not between shows when you beg them to stay in their seats by referencing Time Cop over and over again, and not during cringy press conferences where you sit there in your big boy suit, smiling next to your bought and paid for wrestlers while your sock puppet journalists heap praise on you and lob softball questions. If you hadn't felt the need to get your face out there and hold for applause from a bunch of sycophants, then you'd have a lot more goodwill and you'd probably still have your company's biggest star. Yeah, tell him. And that goes for you too. What? While you don't sit out there during your press conferences the way Dippy over here does, they're still overly produced, artificial wastes of time. This is a scripted television show, not a legitimate sporting event. Everything you're talking to these people about was written and produced by you. This is essentially nothing more than Talking Dead, the reaction show that followed episodes of The Walking Dead. I feel like it should be hosted by that douche Chris Hardwick and have Shirley from Community sitting there with a yellow legal pad screaming about how much she loved everything she just saw. That's not fair at all. Plenty of people have asked me hard questions during my scrum. Yes, and then you ban them from the next one. You're not looking for actual press coverage. You're looking for a love fest while he's just getting his rocks off by being on camera. Both are stupid. Neither help your respective shows or brands, and both should be done away with entirely.
Never.
Over my dead body?
Oh, please. You only started doing them to copy me.
There is nothing that you have ever done that I ever want to emulate.
You just want AEW to die so that you can have a monopoly on wrestling.
No, I just want bald FTR to not be able to provide for his family. Jesus, listen to the two of you. What?
We were just getting started.
You complain about the tribalism in wrestling, but the two of you create it with these never-ending shots at one another. Tooney, you came out the gate swinging at WWE. If you had just said, hey, they do their thing, and that's great, but we're going to do something different to serve another need in the market, then everything would have probably been fine. But you are so aggressively thin-skinned and have such a massive inferiority complex that you have to constantly swing your micro-dick around to show your daddy what a big boy you are. You even went as far as to talk about the quote-unquote hatred that exists between the two companies recently as a positive. First, don't flatter yourself, you annoy them at best. And second, maybe if you stopped worrying about what the WWE is doing and started turning your focus inward, you'd be able to right the ship and turn this downward trend in your ratings, because you have literally chased off half your initial audience, and it's because of crap like this. Ha! And you. I can't understand why you constantly feel the need to take shots at a company so much smaller than yours. He's doing enough as it is to tank his reputation, ratings, and roster by himself. But you see an easy target, and like any bully, you pounce at it. I don't know if you just missed the good old days of you and your clique buddies bullying guys like Shane Douglas like you were Biff Tannen on George McFly, but every time you open your mouth with one of these veiled attacks, it just comes off like punching down, and something that the biggest pro wrestling company of all time should be above. Just do your thing and ignore him. It really shouldn't be this difficult.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, seriously. And Shane Douglas was a butthead anyway. I maintain that there never needed to be a wrestling war. The only reason the WWF and WCW ever went to war was because they were on the same night at the same time. There are enough wrestlers, fans, and days of the week where people can watch both of your products without a problem. Now, how about the two of you shake hands, apologize, and make the wrestling world a better place? Ugh, so lame. Come on, you two. All right, fine. Put her there, kid.
All right, I guess we can coexist. The monster might be right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what's that there on your shirt?
What?
Boop! Sean, I got him. Did you see? I got him, Sean.
Oh, that's it. Dave, I need a report in the Observer that the WWE is using solid holograms to fill all its empty seats.
Ugh, well, I tried. Thanks for tuning in this week, folks, and for bearing with me through the vacation. And thanks for your continued support of Tooneytown Wrestling. Huge thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com/Tooneytown Wrestling, who get exclusive content and early access to features and song parodies. Just this week, they'll be getting early access to my interview with Dylan Postel, aka Hornswoggle, and the Piano Man song parody that we've been working on for a few weeks. We've also got Tooney Talk Wrestling live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I've even been going live with game streams here and there. We've already done WWE 2K24 and started a playthrough of Batman Arkham Asylum. We're also launching a new series called Gaming with the Game, where Trip will be the one streaming, and he's starting out by playing 2018's God of War. So look out for that soon. That does it for this week. For Tooney Khan, Dave Schmeltzer, and Trip, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!